The afternoon sky above the Arizona desert thundered with a sound that could belong to only one aircraft, the A-10 Thunderbolt II, more famously known as the Warthog. This machine isn't just another combat aircraft, it's a flying symbol of American air dominance, built with one purpose in mind: to destroy enemy tanks with unmatched precision. But this time, something was different. It wasn't just another training mission. Beneath its titanium wings rested an upgraded version of its iconic weapon, the GAU-8 Avenger 30mm cannon, freshly enhanced to take on Russia's next-generation armored threats. As the gun's barrels spun and the signature roar, "Brr," echoed across the range, the world's militaries understood the message clearly. This wasn't merely a test. It was a signal, a bold statement that the United States still wields the most devastating close air support weapon ever built. The tank killer Russia fears. The GAU-8 Avenger isn't an ordinary gun. It weighs over 600 kilograms, nearly a third of the aircraft's entire weight, and can fire 3,900 rounds per minute, each 30mm shell capable of shredding Cold War-era Soviet tanks into molten scrap metal. Now, the upgraded system features a new generation of armor-piercing ammunition paired with an advanced digital targeting system. The depleted uranium rounds, combined with thermal sensors and AI-assisted aiming software, can identify and lock onto armored silhouettes from several kilometers away. "This isn't the old Warthog that relied solely on pilot skill," said one of the lead engineers. "Now, it thinks, it tracks, and it strikes before the enemy even realizes they've been targeted." The upgrade comes as part of the U.S. Tactical Air Modernization Program, a broader initiative to adapt battlefield assets to modern warfare, especially in response to Russia's increasing deployment of advanced tanks like the T-14 Armata. The test that shook the desert. In footage released by the U.S. Air Force, an A-10 is seen flying low over the desert range. The pilot dips just above the sand, scanning the terrain. The radar locks on. The target is a mock-up of a Russian armored vehicle. Then, in an instant, the barrels spin. The distinctive BRRGEDT tears through the air, shaking the ground below and obliterating the target in seconds. Analysts were quick to interpret the footage as more than a weapons test. It was a strategic signal, one meant to be seen and heard, especially in Moscow. The timing was no coincidence. The test occurred just weeks after intelligence reports suggested that Russian armored units were intensifying drills near Eastern Europe. While Washington remained silent about any direct connection, the message was unmistakable. The U.S. can still neutralize any armored threat, anywhere, anytime. A strategic message behind the firepower. In today's climate of geopolitical tension, from NATO's eastern borders to global flashpoints, tests like these are rarely just about technology. They are statements of deterrence. For many observers, the A-10's renewed display of firepower serves as a reminder that America's tactical dominance in close air support remains unmatched. Though some argue the A-10 should have been retired years ago, countless pilots and veterans fiercely disagree. They know the Warthog's true worth, how it saved lives in Iraq and Afghanistan by providing precise, low-altitude strikes when ground troops needed it most. And now, with the upgraded GAU-8 system, the Warthog once again earns its reputation as the most feared tank killer on Earth. Global reactions. Soon after the footage was released, Russian media outlets began covering the story. Some labeled it a provocation, while others called it a subtle warning directed at Russia's ground forces. Meanwhile, in Washington, Pentagon officials declined to comment on specific targets, but confirmed that the test was part of a broader program to enhance close air support capabilities. Still, for military analysts, the signal was clear. The United States isn't just updating its nuclear or naval capabilities, it's reinforcing its air-to-ground dominance with upgraded legacy platforms that have already proven themselves in countless wars. Warthog, the beast that never dies. Even in an era dominated by sleek fifth-generation fighters like the F-35 and F-15EX, the A-10 still holds a unique place. Its titanium armor, bulletproof cockpit, and redundant flight systems make it one of the most resilient aircraft ever built, capable of returning home even after taking heavy damage. When it dives low and unleashes a stream of 30mm rounds, that distinctive BA, becomes the stuff of nightmares for any enemy below. In conflicts across the Middle East and NATO exercises, that sound has always meant one thing: the enemy is finished. Now, with its new targeting systems and upgraded armor-penetrating rounds, the A-10 is deadlier than ever. A new era of military tension. For Russia, the A-10's resurgence is hardly welcome news. In a world shifting toward drones and electronic warfare, the US is sending a very different message. Conventional firepower still matters. This test symbolizes a doctrine shift, not toward abandoning older weapons, but enhancing the ones that have already proven unstoppable. The message is simple yet chilling. You can build stronger tanks, but we can always build sharper bullets. Conclusion. As the A-10 Warthog's engines roared across the desert sky, the world was reminded of one undeniable truth: America's air power still reigns supreme. The latest GAU-8 test isn't just an upgrade, it's a revival of a legend. A machine born in the Cold War, reborn in the modern age, and once again ready to dominate the battlefield. For Russia and anyone watching, the meaning couldn't be clearer. We're still here, and we're still the strongest.
I think the girls with their nails done now.